Yizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. And the Off the Record podcast is the topic of discussion. The Off the Record podcast is the topic of discussion, my G. So let's get right into it. And I got to say, first and foremost, when you sit four clowns down at a round table and let them have dialogue, when you sit four clowns down at a table and let them have a full-blown conversation, it's going to be comical. It's going to be full of laughs and full of entertainment. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened on the Off the Record podcast recently. Now, you know, you got four clowns at the table. You got DJ Akademiks. You got Tekashi 6ix9ine. You got Hassan, Campbell, and you got Wack 100. Now, this is a crazy mixture of foolery. A crazy mixture of foolery. You understand what I'm saying? But it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface. So you got to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. You got to be able to see clearly what's going on. You understand? And I definitely see clearly. Now, these plays that are being ran, I get it. Fellow content creator, I get it. But we got to home in. We got to home in on just what's taking place on this podcast. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of red flags. It's a lot of BS. It's a lot of, foolery going on. And it can definitely go over your head or under your bridge. But you got to be aware. You got to have your eyes open at all times, especially your third one. And you got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to keep your head on the swivel. Now, these guys got into it about a whole bunch of different topics that made my eyebrow raise up, that caught my ear. And I figured, hey, man, it's only right that Grown Man Business TV homes in on a few topics that they was talking about. Because obviously there was not one grown man at that table. There was not one grown man standing on grown man business at that table. So it just is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times. At all times. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my first angle. And that is DJ Akademiks. Now let's get into it. DJ Akademiks is the host of Off the Record podcast. You understand what I'm saying? And, this is respectfully, but it is the wildest thing that we are living in a day and age where you can see the geeks in the classroom having conversations with the so-called gangsters. Now, DJ Akademiks is one of the guys that before social media, before the whole, cell phone, smartphone situation, had nothing to say when it came to gangsterism. You understand what I'm saying? He was one of the guys in the back of the class that wouldn't say much. He did his work. His people was from Jamaica. He was an immigrant. He didn't want any smoke. You understand? When things got jumping, when things got popping, he was never around. And if he was around, he had no opinion to insert into the situation. If you catch my drift, if you can follow me. DJ Akademiks is an example of the guys back in the day that didn't have a chance to have an opinion. They wasn't involved enough in anything to have a full-on opinion. And these guys like DJ Akademiks, they loved the music back in the day. They loved DMX, they loved Jay-Z, they loved the street aura. But they were the furthest thing from the streets. You understand? And you gotta be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. That's why Nip Hussle was on DJ Akademiks' neck so hard. Because, guys from my era, you had to be hands-on to be able to have an opinion. You had to be off the porch to be able to have an opinion on things that happen off the porch. And DJ Akademiks, he done got into his bag because we are living in a day and age where you didn't have to make a name for yourself to become an influencer. You don't have to make a name for yourself to have an opinion. There's really, as long as you're making money, as long as you're a millionaire, as long as you have all of the material items, you can stand on those things and say, I have a voice because I am rich. DJ Akademiks is a marshmallow. He is a marshmallow inside and out. And he manipulates, right? He manipulates the streets. He manipulates the actions that happens in the streets. And he feels certified and justified because he has so-called street dudes right beside him. So-called street dudes vouching for him. You know, this is respectfully. DJ Akademiks has his platform. DJ Akademiks is highly successful. But it's only real when you got somebody like myself speaking on these matters. It's only real when you got somebody that's been hands-on speaking on these matters. And when I was coming up, the only people that had an opinion, the only people that opinion mattered was people that was hands-on. Guys like DJ Akademiks used to get punched in the gut, robbed for their lunch money. You feel me? Kicked in the butt and sent home. Yeah, they'll literally get kicked in the ass and sent home. You know, so to see DJ Akademiks with so much confidence in the things that he's saying, it's just weird, man. And if you watch this podcast, you can see some of 6ix9ine's homies kind of bullying Akademiks. Akademiks is trying to talk, and 6ix9ine's homie is like, nah, let me talk first and you talk next. And you know what Akademiks does? He bows out gracefully because that is his nature. That is his nature. He should never be able to speak on street activity. He should never be able to have an opinion on anything that happens off the porch. Ever. So salute and RIP to King Nip for addressing that before his untimely demise. Somebody has to address it, and Nip addressed it first, and I'm going to address it now. Come on, Akademiks. Why are you talking about street stuff? Why are you immersed and engulfed in street conversations? When you never bust a grape in a fruit fight, you've never thrown a punch. You've never done anything except make your money, my G. So, you know, I'm not going to stay on this long, but DJ Akademiks, man, you know, somebody has to say something, and you a fraud, my G. You are a full-out fraud. You should definitely reevaluate the content, my boy. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, man. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles. And that leads me and segues me into my second angle. My second angle. You know what I'm saying? And that's Wack 100. Wack no 100. Or Wack 100. Whichever one you want. Whichever one fits is for you. But I'm going to speak on Wack. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, again. You know, Wack has done his thing in the industry. Wack is off the porch. Wack is one of the guys that has the opinion that can be inserted when it comes to street talk. It is what it is. He did his thing in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So you can never take that away from him. But you got to look at Wack like this. Wack is the OG, the old guy. Wack is the old guy that's still trying to incorporate himself and still trying to infuse himself with the youngsters. You know, Wack is one of them old guys that will sit back and manipulate a situation amongst young people, amongst young men for monetization. You understand? To capitalize off the situation. And it's been like that for a long time. And Wack 100 is a prime example of that. It used to happen back in the day and nobody really could pinpoint it. We didn't have social media. But you had OGs and old guys like Wack 100 back in the day that would see two young dudes about to fight and let it go down. See two young dudes about to smoke each other and let it go down. And then stand there and be like, yeah, I saw it, man. I knew they was, I was trying to tell them. You know, all for attention, all for monetization, all to capitalize. Wack doesn't mean any of these youngsters any good. He's literally, you know, throwing gasoline on a fire for monetization, for views, for likes, for dollar bills. And he is a prime example. That's why I say, who is your OG? Who is your OG? I just did a video about that. Go check it out. But who is your OG? Who is your old guy? And Wack is the old guy that's still trying to be down with the youngins. You done been in the Wack. You 50-something years old, my G. There's no way you should be engulfed in this type of content. As old as you are. But, you know, again, that's why I had to address it. Grown Man Business TV, I had to address it. The old guy. That's Wack 100. And watch him steer the youngins in any way he can steer them to capitalize off of them. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And if you watch Wack's movements through this podcast, through this episode, anytime some positivity, anytime something is about to be said that can, you know, lighten the load, that could give some game, that could be a gem for the young boys to take with them, he steps on it. Because this is about entertainment. These are 4 clowns sitting down at a table. This is not about Martin Luther King. This is not about the movement. This is about entertainment. This is about content. And this OG is full in. He's knee deep. Instead of saying, nah, let's do it this way, youngsters. Let's handle it this way, youngsters. He's throwing gasoline on the fire. He want to watch it burn. And it's too many OGs and old guys like Wack 100 in our community, man. They got to be called out. It got to be spoken on. Especially by a grown man here at Grown Man Business TV. It is what it is, Wack. Wack, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You a clown, my G. A old guy. Yeah, it just is what it is. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my third angle. My third angle, my G. And that's Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell. You know what I mean? They call him a lot of other things, but I'm going to just call him Hassan Campbell. It was very disappointing, man, to see Hassan Campbell. He does lives for 2 and 3 hours straight. And when the whole 6ix9ine Tekashi situation went down, oh, Haas was on his head. Haas had so much to say, you know? And I mean, when he's in his house and he's sitting in front of that camera, he's very animated. You feel what I'm saying? They knocking the snot box, and I mean, he got all kind of slogans and sayings. But when Hassan Campbell was put in front of Tekashi 6ix9ine, he folded, man. He folded like a notebook in the back of the class, my G. He folded up, he bent, he broke, and he folded. Do you believe? Go check it out. It is what it is. Because, Haas, I got to say this. For you to have so much to say about 6ix9ine in your videos, when you got in front of 6ix9ine, at the round table with 6ix9ine, you tried to play Martin Luther King, my G. You talking about seeing them 10 years from now with their kid. You talking everything like you are a savior, my boy. You done already sat down at the table. It's 4 clowns. It's no time for your Martin Luther King speech. I thought you was going to get at Tekashi neck. Let him know full on, I don't like you. I don't rock with you. What you did was bogus. You are a sucker. It's no way you should be standing on no type of business. And the little homies you got with them, they ain't standing on business neither. But what actually happened is Hassan got spooked. Hassan Campbell got scared and he got quiet. You understand? Hassan's very animated. Everybody was expecting Hassan to go crazy, handle his business, start crying, start jumping, doing backflips. Talking about he can't take it no more. We was all expecting that. And when 6ix9ine walked in that room with 30 of them young boys he had from out Brooklyn, because he had about 30 young boys from Brooklyn with him, Hassan, he sat up straight. Hassan didn't barely say a word. Hassan didn't barely move. Hassan, and then when he did speak, he was rubbing 6ix9ine's back. He was blowing on him. You know, he was man, it was disgusting, Haas. You call 6ix9ine a king? Yo, you never said that one time in your videos when you going ham on 6ix9ine. But as soon as you get put in front of him, he's a king now. I don't know, Haas, man. You folded, man. You tucked your tail between your legs, bro. You a little pup. You a little pup, man. And you need to stand on that. You need to, then you go to your live, you try to do a whole bunch of explaining. You wouldn't have to explain anything if you stood on business when 6ix9ine walked in that room. The way y'all talk about 6ix9ine, it's weird to me that you could even sit at the table with him without smacking his mouth off or without approaching him in an aggressive manner. These dudes get in front of 6ix9ine and get fanned out. I gotta be honest. These dudes get in front of 6ix9ine and they get fanned out. And it's crazy to see because 6ix9ine did the, he's diabolical. He did the worst of the worst. And I think it's something just like Alpo. Like, people would talk about Alpo, but when he would come around, they would get fanned out. They want pictures and an autograph. They don't care what he did with the federal informant and all that. And it just is what it is, Haas. You got fanned out. You got quiet. He had 30 goons with him, and you was scared, bro. And if you was standing on Grown Man Business TV, if you was standing on Grown Man Business, you would easily be able to admit that. You got shook, my boy. That little pistol you got won't about to take down 30 of them young boys from Brooklyn. They was about to handle you, and you defecated on yourself, man. If you know what that means, you definitely defecated your drawers. It is what it is, man, and it'll be what it's gonna be, Haas. Keep it 100 with yourself, my boy. 4 clowns at the table, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. That's just how it goes. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my last and final angle, my 4th angle. The last and final angle, my 4th angle, and that is Tekashi 6ix9ine. That is Tekashi, aka Takuchi 6ix9ine. It is what it is, Takuchi. It is what it is. Now, one thing I got to say about this, right? First and foremost, one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. Takuchi, you are a federal informant, my G. You are a rodent, my G. You are a full-blown rat. It is what it is. And I appreciate you standing on that. I appreciate you admitting that, and I appreciate you standing on that. It just is what it is. You feel me? But secondly, I got to say this. I really respect how Tekashi pulls up on his ops. How Tekashi doesn't mind being in the same room with the opposition. And I mean, I don't know if he's on K2, because he's definitely on something, right? But whatever he gets on, he will go up. He don't mind going up. He pulled up on Meek Mills, Bunny Hopping Meek, and he pulled up on Haas. And both of these guys folded when 6ix9ine was in their presence. Both of these guys talk the most craziest stuff about 6ix9ine, and when they see them, they fold. They get fanned out. They want to start copping a plea. They throwing up the white flag. They calling them a king. 6ix9ine asked Hassan Campbell, what would you do in that situation? And Haas, again, instead of saying, would you tell or not? No, I would never tell. And then explaining what he would do, Haas is all over the place with it. Haas can't even get his words together because you got 6ix9ine right in front of you. You fanned out. It is what it is. It'll be what it's going to be. 6ix9ine walks in the room with 30 young boys from Brooklyn. 30. Haas is spooked. 6ix9ine is irate. He's running all over the place. He's doing backflips. He's screaming at the top of his lungs, and he's smacking the table. You know, comical, entertaining stuff, man. I can't lie. I can't lie, man. This shit was good. It's too funny, bro. You feel me? And nobody handled 6ix9ine. Nobody smacked him. Nobody choked him out. Nobody got rough with him. Nobody talked crazy to him. Put me in the room with 6ix9ine and let me show you how to talk to youngin'. How to handle youngin'. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, man. Y'all need to leave 6ix9ine alone if y'all ain't willing to go all out for it. Leave him alone. And never call him he's not a king, man. Come on, man. He's a snake. He's at the bottom of the grass. And Haas gonna call him a king. I lost a lot of respect for Haas, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That was a bad look. He shouldn't even have did that podcast, man. He should have skipped that one or been ready to make it jump. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But to Coochie, you are a rat, my boy. Full blown. What would we have done in that situation? You could never ask that. You could never know. It is what it is. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick and to the bottle. Straight, raw, pure, uncut. No extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. Off the record podcast. I'm giving it to you straight raw, my boy. Straight raw. And I just went line for line, play for play, chess move for chess move on all and everything that happened on the Off the Record podcast with all 4 of these clowns sitting at the table together. Highly entertaining, man. Highly entertaining. And I mean, it just is what it is, man. One thing you got to know about this whole YouTube situation, I told y'all before, it's the new portal. It's the new way for you to be inducted and picked out and chosen by the higher ups and the elites. But a lot of the content creators are running plays right now. Running plays. There's a lot of money in these YouTube streets. So when you see 4 clowns like that get together, they not getting together for Martin Luther King speeches, Haas. Y'all getting together to create content that's going to support y'all, that's going to create revenue for y'all. And the only type of content that creates that kind of revenue within our culture on YouTube is negative, high energy, back talking, fighting. That's what's going to get y'all to the top. So, Haas, you came in there, big bad bully, and then you get humbled by the little rainbow hair kid that's a rat. You supposed to made that jump. You supposed to took that to the top for the highest views, the highest monetization. But you put your tail between your legs, man, so it just is what it is. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. You know what I'm saying? You can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. Gang!